It's your boy Big Baby Miller here. Listen, we knocking on all bums. First it's gonna be Dylan White, if it's gonna be Joseph Parker. But you know who got the story right? Mr. Boxing Today. You check him out. He got all the latest news on the heavyweight division. And if you don't know me, you soon will. Because I'm kicking everybody ass.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So I'm back with another short video giving you some news you can use concerning the heavyweight division. Hey, first let me give a shout out to World Boxing News, man. This is where I got this article from. I will leave this article in the description box. You can click it, read it, and come to your own surmise, all right? But in this article, Joyce was talking about him getting his, him and Dubois got a fight coming up the 28th. I can't wait for this fight, but he is saying that he wants to beat Daniel Dubois and become the top guy on Queensberry. And he said he's open to a Usyk world title fight. Now, we know with Usyk, they're talking about, obviously, we got AJ versus Pulev coming up next month. Can't wait for that fight either. A lot of damn good heavyweight fights left this year, but can't wait for that one. Now, according to plan, and we know how plans are in boxing, we know how a promoter and his fighters' plans can get thrown over a boat in a millisecond if you lose a fight, all right? But the plans from Eddie Hearn is for, AJ to fight Pulev, beat him, and then they're talking about AJ possibly, and Hearn has already came out in September and said this, that they will relinquish that WBO, drop that WBO belt, so AJ can fight Tyson Fury, all right? Now, those are their plans, all right? And then the WBO will be vacated, and it will be Usyk, who is the mandatory, taking on fill in the blank. We really don't know yet, all right? But reading this article, though, I'll read a little bit of it, man. Joyce says, right now, Daniel is a top boy for Queensberry in BT Sport. So if I beat him, or when I beat him, I will be the one to watch. All right. He also goes on to say, according to Frank Warren, the winner could potentially get a world title shot, and that is definitely what I am boxing for. So I'm looking forward to beating Dubois and being number one. All right. Also in his interview, he also goes on to talk about the potential of if he were to fight Usyk again. For those of you that don't know, he did fight Usyk right here in the World Series of Boxing. And he lost that fight. And he also went on to say, hey, man, I was a bit of a novice back then when I fought Usyk. I think they fought like 7 years ago. Fights on YouTube. I think it was about 7 years ago. He said, hey, man, I was a novice back then. And look what I was able to do, even in defeat. Now, 7, 8 years later, look where I am now. I'll be more than ready to fight Usyk, all right? And then, but I'm curious to see, and this is why I have this picture here with Fa versus Usyk. Usyk also beat Junior Fa, is because, Frank Warren, according to Joyce, was saying that, possibly there's a title shot through the WBO, right? Now, you look at these WBO rankings, Dubois is number 2, and he will be taking on Joyce, who's number 11. But also in the WBO, you have Joseph Parker, who's number 3, taking on Junior Fa. So, what I'll say is this, man. I'm not sure what the WBO is going to do or how they're going to do this. Or let's say that let's say Joshua goes in there and beat Pulev, the WBO is dropped. Who will fight Usyk? Will it be the winner out of Fa and Parker, number 3 versus number 6? Or will it be Joyce and Dubois winner? Joyce is number 2. Dubois is number 2. And Joyce is number 11. So 2 versus 11, 3 versus 6. Who do you think would deserve a title shot? Look, both of these are great domestic fights, right? Fa versus Parker, Battle of New Zealand. And then you got the UK showdown between Joyce and Dubois. So I like both fights. But, man, I just wish boxing would just make more sense with these things, man. Why not just have, Parker versus Dubois? That'll make the most sense as far as looking at the rankings sake of things, all right? But I guess we'll see, man. We haven't even got that far. Yo, Pulev may upset the apple cart and knock Anthony Joshua out. We may not even get to all this, man. So let's just see what happens. Just speculation right now. How we like to do as boxing fans. We like to look 2 years ahead. And then as soon as somebody gets beat, we have to start all back over again, man. But that's the beauty of the sport, though, man. And right now, I know that Dubois, that Joyce said that right now that Dubois is one of the top boys, but I think the top boy, right, is Tyson Fury, and I think he will remain the top boy. Where if Frank Warner's around Tyson Fury and he has Tyson Fury, he will be the number one guy. But I understand what Joyce was saying, that Dubois is the young, up and coming guy. Shit, Joyce is like 35 years old, y'all. You know what I mean? And Dubois, you see here, is only 23 years old, so he is looked at more as the future. And Frank Warren might not admit this. I'm not sure if he said. I doubt he will say it because it would be a conflict of interest. But I'm sure that he will want Dubois to win because he's young and just seems like he has more of a future than a guy like Joe Joyce, who's 35 years old. Man, you dig what I'm saying? And hey, man, Dubois, this won't be his first time in this type of fight with a stable mate. Trying to break through. He had a fight last summer with Nathan Gorman. Both those guys were undefeated. Some people were kind of, didn't know who was going to win the fight. Most people favored Dubois, but Dubois went in there and got Nathan Gorman out of there in impressive fashion. All right. But hey, man, curious to hear what you guys got to say in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. I'm out.